Is this the next $1,000,000 HDB estate? Let's look at the data.
This is Bidadari, a new HDB estate located between Bartley and Woodleigh MRT. It has close proximity to several schools such as the upcoming co-ed Mary Stella School. It also boasts new features such as the new Woodleigh Mall as well as the upcoming Bidadari Park.
So far, there have been no transactions in this estate, and that's because none of the flats have MOP, with the first being in the second half of this year.
To understand what the potential price here could be, we're going to be looking at two factors, which is supply as well as the price of the surrounding area. First, let's look at supply. Now, my initial concern for this estate is whether there will be an oversupply come MOP. Now, there are a total of 12 projects with over 8,000 units. So the question is, will competition be so high that it affects price? To understand, let's look at the condos in the surrounding area, which experience a similar situation. Looking at the larger picture of D19 with neighborhoods adjacent to Bartley and Woodleigh, such as Serangoon and Kovan, prior to 2023, there's actually very little supply of new condos. In Serangoon, for 10 years, there have been no new condos except for Forest Woods and a few boutique ones. And for Kovan, for 7 years, there was only Stars of Kovan. This led to a spillover effect at Bartley and Woodleigh. Now, in 2021 to 2023, we saw a sudden influx of new condo units as 3 large condos completed construction, which was the Woodleigh Residence, the Trevor, as well as Park Colonial. Now, despite the sudden influx of supply within this short period of time, we've seen very healthy transactions in this area, with 305 out of 307 transactions being profitable, and the highest at Park Colonial being 690k. Bringing it back to the BTOs at Bidadari, it is likely we will see the same scenario occur, but at an even more intense level, as there have been no new HDBs for 23 years at Serangoon or Kovan. Coupled with the fact that the eligible pool of buyers is larger, as well as the MOPs being spread out between 2024 all the way to 2030, we might even see demand outweighing supply. Moving on, let's look at the price of the surrounding area. Now, we may have demand, but how acceptable is a $1,000,000 price mark here? For that, we'll be looking at nearby neighbours that have MOP not too long ago, are similar in size and entry price. Let's look at Bendemeer Light at Boon Keng as well as Toa Payoh Crest. Now, you can see that for both projects, they have consistently surpassed the $1,000,000 mark, and for those that didn't, it is very close. This shows us that for Bidadari, it is not a far stretch at all, and it's not unrealistic to achieve. Looking at the data on the price and the supply in the surrounding area, coupled with the fact that in the future it will be one of the few new estates that's near the central area with full amenities that do not require the 10-year MOP, it is not hard to imagine that Bidadari will be the next $1,000,000 HDB estate. Now, if you're a soon-to-be seller there or a buyer looking there in the future, you also want to be aware of the differences in the projects within the estate. So stay tuned to my next video where I'll be comparing the 4 and 5 bedroom layouts as well as which stacks to look out for and avoid within the estate.